I was molested and slash raped by my stepbrother. I didn't say anything till I was 13. I needed the noise to go away, but I'm looking at a full-blown storm.
My next guest is known for her bold personality, her sharp tongue, and her fearless truth-telling. She is a reality TV fire starter, best known for her unforgettable role on Basketball Wives LA. She's also the former longtime partner of NBA star Gilbert Arenas and the proud mother of 4 incredibly talented athletes. She holds a master's, honey, in sports psychology and a bachelor's in international business. Currently, she is entering a new chapter, focusing on healing, truth, reinvention, and raising 4 sports stars. But she's here live on DHC. Please welcome none other than the sweetest, most precious woman in my life, Laura Govan.
Yay. That's so sweet. Thank you, baby. You need to send that to me.
Oh my God.
I'm going to reread it to myself.
You going to reread it to yourself?
That's amazing.
You should know who you are. I love it. So let's get into this. Tell me, before we start anything, who is Laura Govan?
It's so interesting because I feel like I'm an array of things and most people can't handle me, can't handle that and don't know how to take it in. So a lot of times I used to be what I needed to be. But today I am exactly who I want to be. I do whatever I want to do. I say whatever I want to say, with no regrets, no hard feelings, because I know what my intentions are. I don't come with malice. I don't come with the drama of anything other than just being authentic. So, yeah.
I love that.
That's who I am.
Very good. Question, before we move forward, can I see the clock? And then I don't want to see myself here. Can I see my live self? Yeah, because that helps me with, okay, perfect. Thank you. And then you're doing the 45?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? We're having a little difficulty with that 45. I'll just let you know.
Okay, no worries. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so let's get down to the brass tacks of Miss Laura Govan. You were branded as the loud one, the crazy one, on Basketball Wives. What did that cost you in real life?
Nothing. I feel like this is who I am. I give you who I am, especially at the time of where I am in life, right? So if I'm the crazy, the loud, it's where I am in life. Like I was crazy. I did a lot of I had a lot of crazy antics. I had a lot of lashing out. I was angry at the time. So you got what you got. And I give what I give of who I am at the time. And so there's no, and I was much younger. I'm a lot more mature now. The same, but immaturity. My maturity is just different. But so I gave you who I was. You saw the angry Laura, and that's just what it was.
So why were you angry?
Oh my goodness. For so many reasons. I just felt like I was the kid out of 9. I'm 7th to the last. And I would hold in all this anger from childhood to the teens to becoming a young lady, coming into being an adult, and even being a mother. I had 4 kids, and yes, I was put on this planet to be a mom, but I was really I was an immature mother. I've been good at being a great mom, but as a person, I was struggling and suffering. And I would give all my nurturing and my love and all the sweet and the goodness. I knew how to filter that for and with my children. But then as soon as I left the motherhood, it was like, here she come. And it was firecracker, a tornado. You got what you got. And I gave what I gave. And I didn't care about nothing other than who I was and how I felt. So, That's what you got.
So let's talk about your childhood. What was childhood like for Laura Govan?
It was interesting to say the least. I mean, there was a lot of trauma, and when I say trauma, I was molested and / raped by my stepbrother. And I didn't say anything till I was 13. I was in a really bad car accident, as you know. And I tell this all in the book that I have coming out. It's called In Real Life. I take that back. It's my In Real Life, and it's called Don't Get Mad, Get Sexy. And the book talks about, the trauma I had of being in a car accident and being in the hospital for a year, and it goes into detail. But I couldn't walk. I walked with a really hard limp growing up when I got out of the hospital. And once I laid down, it was I was wrapped in gauze and at home, and he would come in. And so to date, I don't like seeing the crack of light in the door, because I see footsteps and I'm like, oh, wow. So I had to learn to deal with that. And I'm still dealing with it at 45. So, yeah. So that's just some of it. That's with the childhood, the stemming of that. And then I took my dad.
Go back to that. So you never told your mother, you never told your father, it just happened and it stopped one day?
So no, so here's what happened. My dad will put me in all these sports. And in the accident, they told my parents I'd never walk normal again, because my hip was broken and I walked with a really hard limp. And so I became, actually in the 6th grade, this happened when I was in 3rd grade, but in the 6th grade, I became like one of the best runners in the state of California, somehow, some way. And so I told my dad, I was like, I want to play. I want to do things. I was really good at kickball. I was really good. I started doing all these things they said I wouldn't do. And my dad put me in basketball, and that is where I found my passion and I found my love. And that really made me into a speaker, someone that I felt like I had a voice, because I became a leader of a tribe. And I felt like, oh my God, if I could do this here, I could do it at home. I could actually express myself. Because playing basketball, I was telling people and directing and, being a leader, people had to follow and I was in charge. And I realized that, oh, well, I could do this at home. I could be a leader. And people, because they followed me at home anyway. I had 2 youngers underneath me. And so, my parents worked 2 jobs. My mom barely spoke English. And so I realized that that's a role I could take on, and I did. So when I did it at home, my voice became bigger. And I remember one day I just told my dad, I was like, hey, this happened. And I remember his response, and it was not what I wanted to hear. And so it really triggered a lot of anger. And my anger, I found that I could take out on basketball. So I became great at something other than just being, I found I could be aggressive. I could be patient. I learned, the game taught me the game of life and how to deal with that for me. I didn't know what therapy was. So that was my therapy for a long time.
So did you ever get therapy for that?
I did later. I did, honestly, maybe not until my early 30s.
Okay. And do you feel like you've healed from it, you're healing from it, or you haven't?
Well, healing for me is different, right? So my healing, would I ever heal from that? No. That's a scar that I feel. And I feel it more so when I see my daughters. I feel it more so when I see my sons. But no, it would never, that healing will always be a healing process for me. But I have overcome some things in that. Yeah, absolutely. I took away the power that I felt like I allowed someone else to have when I was lashing out because of it, or I wouldn't have sex because of it, and I was like, no, I want to make love. I want to be married. I want to feel passion. So just me without having therapy, those are just things that I wanted personally. So it took away, it gave me back my strength. So, but yeah, no, healing, no, that's not, no, I won't ever be healed from that. No.
So how do you, with that happening to you, how do you protect your children?
So one is so interesting because it's something that I actually got from you. I think maybe, how long have I known you? 12 years, 13?
Mm-hmm.
I think in the first week of us meeting, I remember you telling me, you said something, I said something and you said something back. But what you said was, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. And I remember asking you, what did you say? And you were like, oh, it was something because you be running your mouth. You know how you are. And so you said something to me and I was like, yeah, but tell me what you said again. And it was something that I've used since I met you. And I use it on my children. So when I see them and they're going somewhere, they're doing something, I still don't allow them to spend the night nowhere. That's still not in my DNA. Even last night, I was coming home from an event. I picked up Hamiley from being out. She can't spend the night. And so, but I always, before they leave the house, and when they text me, I'm leaving, I rebuke any hurt, harm, or danger in the name of Jesus. That's just a stamp that I have on them. And I feel safe with that. And I feel comfort in that. So I use that. So that works for me. But in protecting them, I can't. I have to believe that I have more faith than I do fear today. So I have faith that they will be okay. I have faith that they know the situations and things that I've taught them, that they can make also the right decision. Now, being overpowered by somebody and all those things, I leave that up to the faith of, not having them in certain situations. I don't let the kids go places because I don't know whose cousins come into the house. I don't know whose brothers, friends come. I don't know. I don't even know those people, although I may know them, I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
So again, my faith is bigger than my fear to date.
So let's talk about, let's go back to your siblings. Tell me about your relationship with your siblings.
I have good relationships with my siblings. For those who are alive, I speak to a lot of them. I was one of my brothers who I was really, really close to because we grew up in pairs. I have a brother who's he's like 11 months older than me. And he's now on drugs, and I've tried to help him in every way I can. Listen, we've talked about a whole bunch of things, but he blames me for who he is today. And I used to feel guilty for that, but I don't today. I've actually released and relinquished all that. Your pain, heartache, and burden is not mine. Because I've helped you as much as I can to help with that. And if you don't want the help and seeking whatever it is that helps you, I've given you all I can. I can't do anymore. So I've washed my hands of a lot of that guilt. But I have a younger sister who I used to be really close to. I'm not really close to her anymore. Just due to situations and things that have happened. But she's working on her own journey. I just don't think that I don't want to be around people who don't serve me in friendship or serve me in the alignment of where I'm going today. Like I don't want to see people fail, and I don't want people to be around me who want to see me fail. So if I have a feeling, and I go with my gut, if I have a feeling, I don't care if you're my sister or brother, then I won't rock with you. It is what it is. And that's where I am with some of my siblings.
So there's been a lot of back and forth in the press with you and your sister Gloria. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So there's been a lot of up and down conversation in the press about you and Gloria. What is the genesis of that?
Well, I mean, it stems from me believing and knowing that she had a relationship with my ex. So yeah. So it's not, you know what my issue is? It's not even that happened. My issue is the aftermath. You still play me like as if it's like I'm an issue. And I hate when guilty people do things like that. Don't throw it in my face acting like you're the victim. Don't do that to me. Even if you just were like, yo, this happened, bro. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, you know, you already don't talk to me. Shit, you know, at least let me give you some. All I wanted was the peace of you just being like, yo, like, because, you know, I'm wrapping my brain around if. As a sister, if you think that I did that, even as a friend, I'm like, bro, I wouldn't, like, I'm saying my piece. Like, I'm coming to you like I would never, or I did. You know what I'm saying? Like not, but then don't play me.
Right.
Like dangle the carrot in my face, put them on your podcast. Hey, what? You know what I mean? What you doing? But that's what I mean. So, and I don't want that type of energy.
Right.
Sister or not. I got friends who treat me better than that. But you're the first person that comes to me when when shit hits the fan in your life. No. You know what I mean? And and I bailed you out before a couple times. But I'm not, no. So to date, no. I have other sisters that are not blood to me.
So would you say you and Gloria are not friends?
No, we're not friends. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to get worse if something happens to my parents, God forbid. I'm never going to speak to her.
Wow.
Yeah, ever.
Do you think you and Gloria's relationship could heal?
No, not if I just said never.
Well,
I think there's room for growth.
okay.
I'll go from never to okay. We good. We cool. But no, she would never be my friend. No.
Okay.
I see my daughters, I relish in their relationship. I love it. I've seen them talk smack and they let me say something to one of them and the other one be defending them. I'm like, yeah, you was just in agreements. And they like, nah, but you shouldn't have said it like that. Like, you know, like what I see in them is what I honestly wish I had. But I don't trust enough for you. And you've showed me what the trust is, what the line is. So I don't tote that line anymore. You play a victim in a situation that you created. That's scary to me. I don't want people like that in my life. I don't need them and I'm not going to have it.
Right.
So no.
Okay. So let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room. Gilbert.
He's not an elephant anymore.
He's not an elephant.
Hell no. He it's so interesting because as you know, Elijah had for sure, but Elijah, our son, had an accident. And it was a really bad space, a really deathly situation. And we came together in the midst of that. And it's been great since.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Now, that's why I say that you never know. That's what makes me question. You never know. Here's the thing, though. In him, I know he loves me. He told me he loved me. I told him I loved him. I also told him that we grew up together. We did. We were kids. We got together. We was like 19. And I know him inside and out to date. And he happens to know me inside and out to date. And he knows how to push my buttons, and I still know how to push his. But that's not really a job that's for me anymore. That's not my job. It's his wife, his relationships, and what he does. That's their story to tell now. I just wanted peace in the midst of so much chaos, and I just couldn't find it. And it took for my son in his deathly state for us to come together. And I will take it. I will take it. Because Gilbert Arenas was either I was going to kill him or because he was killing me. He was killing me. And I was like, I can't do this. I literally was like, God, come on, JC, it's all you.
Why do you think he was so aggressive with his attacks on you?
I think because he was hurt. For whatever his hurt was, I think he was hurt. There's a lot of things that play into that. There's a lot of things that I believe he believes that are true that just aren't. There's a lot of things that he didn't get answers on my exit. Because when I exited. And I didn't say nothing to nobody. I'm a Virgo. When I exit, I'm out. And I would do that shit silently and swiftly. And you'll never see it coming. But I had it. I had enough.
How did you exit?
Oh, let me tell you. So I had found out, my biggest thing with him was, I'm going to say a bad word, but it's the truth. Because we were a fight to relationship.
Oh, Lord, that's a little bit of a hard, bad word.
I like that word, though. It's so fitting for where we were.
Okay.
And we did it every day. We would fight, and then we'd let loose. And it was our love language. And in us growing up, I realized that I can't have this. I got knots on shit. He had knots. Listen. And I was like, yo, we can't do this. This can't be our love language. And I felt like I got to a point where and I told him, I said, the only thing that I realized that I will put up with, because I was addicted to him. I was he was a drug for me. And just being addicted. I needed him through my trauma, through my chaos. He was so fulfilling for me because he understood it. He was just as jacked up as I was in his own way. And so we that was our thing. And so when I realized that, I realized it with our children. And I realized they were still about 4 or 5. And I knew that I had to figure out a way to get out of this mess because I couldn't heal it. I couldn't fix it. I wasn't healing me, but I knew I wanted something more and I wanted something different. And in telling him, he wasn't hearing me. He was still riding the high of the high. He was still the man, and I was still a fan. But I knew I had to pull away. Mm-hmm. And I remember one day I told him, I said, the only way I'll leave you is if you had a baby on me. And I remember telling him in the bed one time, I said, that's probably the only way, because we've done everything but that, and I'm still here. And I put up with it. And I start finding myself quietly, slowly, and I was looking at my children, and I thought when I looked at my girls, I don't want my girls to marry a man like you, and I don't want my sons to be like you. I gotta go. Because you're the only influence and affluence that they got. Because I wasn't around no other men, except for my dad, and he was coming and going, So anyway, so then one day I found out from a mutual friend, and it was a whole bunch of lies, and Gilbert had told this woman he offered her money and to have, and he was having a full-blown relationship. I had no idea. I was so engulfed with the children and him, but I was so engulfed in them that I didn't see nothing else. So him having a relationship, I could see how that could happen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't believe it because I'm like, yo, I'm doing our thing with our children and you over here having another. You can't be serious. But I'm going to tell you what happened. And, everybody has their own people. But when I almost took him back because he wanted to still be with me. And she and I were pregnant at the same time. And I had an abortion because I told him when I found out, I could no longer carry nothing of me. nothing of you in me. Not your dick, not your baby, not your lies, not your stories, not your drama, not your trauma. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. It got to the point where we were in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wouldn't even step foot in the house. But then in my mind, I'm releasing. I'm like, ooh, I'm a step further. I'm out the house. Now we're in the car. Out the car, we done. But that's where I was. So my exit plan was, and then finally, I remember he invited me somewhere and I said, I didn't tell him, but I said, no, that's enough. And I was done. I was done. And then you know what else really got it, Holly? I saw the girl. I used to see the girl all the time. She knew who I was. I had no idea who she was. I used to compliment her on being pregnant in the store.
Hold it. Can you hear that?
Yeah, 1 second.
We got time for this? All the stories?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, okay.
I
Say less. Okay.
So in this, and then I'm gonna move to the kids.
So I used to see her in the store. She would talk to me. And I would be like, I had no idea he had moved her into a hotel in the city we were in. And she had other kids by another athlete, but you calling me a groupie. Are you crazy? And then when I realized it was her, because to me, she was so ugly that I was like, I'm out. That's so embarrassing. You gonna go with this frock? I'm over here killing it with 4 kids, and she looked like that, and that's what you want? Oh, I'm done. It actually hurt my ego. It hurt my feelings. And that's really, I know it sounds crazy, but when I saw her, I was like, oh yeah, I'm done. So I was done.
So speaking of the 4 children that you all had, talk to me about each of them.
Oh my God. I can't because I cry like crazy. Um,
Come on with it.
I always wanted a starting 5 and a sub. I always wanted 6 kids. But God gave me what he gave me. And they're awesome. I love my children, but I actually like them. I like their personality. They're so challenging. My girls I've raised to be a lot like me. They're really strong-willed. They're very outspoken. They're strong. They're if anything were to happen to me, all of them would be good. I've taught them all how to drive by 11. I've taught them all how to survive. We have things in the house where I'm like, all right, we all homeless. We in a homeless shelter. How we getting by? We ain't got nothing but peanut butter, jelly, tortillas, and this and that. And you should see the things that they come up with, how they would sleep, tell me how they would live, tell me what the things they would do. Because in life, you can't just be book smart. You gotta be a hustler. You gotta be able to figure it out. You gotta be witty.
Okay, stop. Who's the hustler out of
Oh God.
Miley or Celia?
Miley is definitely the hustler.
Miley is the hustler.
Isela is she's gonna get it done, but she's gonna get it done with a struggle. She is her mama. Miley ain't struggling. She be like, Mama, I'm moving on to the next. I ain't got time for that. You ain't doing it? Oh, okay, bet. You ain't, oh, okay, bet. Isela is like, nah, we gonna fight this out. We gonna figure this out because I see something in you.
Okay.
And I see that in her, and it actually bothers me because that's how I was with their dad. I saw something in him, and I struggled it out.
Okay. And the boys?
The boys are, I got one. Elijah I think he's gonna be when he gets his wife, he is just gonna be with his wife. And that's it. He's gonna be the perfect husband. He's not gonna, cause he don't like to touch the fire. He be like, oh, that's how, I could tell that's warm over there. I'm good. I'm gonna go on over here. The other one, Alani, the baby, he gonna be a pimp for the first 6 years. Pimp, he gonna be pimping. And then when he gets his thing, he's gonna be, cause you should see how he is with me. I can't, listen, let me tell you how I am with Alani. I have to, whatever I'm wearing, I wear a coat if he's in the house. I put on a sweater. I'll put on a whole nother outfit on top of the outfit that I'm wearing out. And I'm 45 years old. That boy does not play no games when it comes to his mother. So their personalities are all different. They're all so different, but I love it. I know from about 13 years old to about 16, you have that age where I remember those days. My mom, as little as she is, I remember my mom choking me out at 15. I remember my mom beat me with a belt. My last ass whooping was 18, and she couldn't do it with the leather, so she started beating me with the belt buckle.
Have you ever whooped your kids?
Absolutely. Are you crazy?
Who gets the most whoopings?
Who used to get them? Now, today, they're too big. I would honestly have to say Hermione. And you know, that was your baby.
Yes.
And I would honestly also have to say, let me tell you how I used to whoop them. I would do 2 here and 2 here, and I'd stand in the middle. And because I would go like this. I was lashing as if we was in Gladiators. I don't care. I'd be sweating. I dared them to move. I would put 2 on each side. I would go this crisscross. And I would just beat them like that with the arm movement and everything. In the car, I didn't care.
You would call them the littles and the bigs.
Yeah, I still call them the littles and the bigs.
Tell me about that.
It's so funny because I have 4 kids in 5.5 years. And they still bigs and littles. The 2, Isela and Elijah, are the older ones, and they act older. And the little ones, the younger ones, they just little. Although Hermione is taller than Isela, and I think Alani's going to be bigger than Elijah at 6'8".
Wow.
I still think that's what, so it's still going to be littles and bigs, though. I think just because of the age, I make that. Yeah.
So tell me, how do they get along with each other?
They get along with each other great. Great. So much so that, and I tell them, it's healthy to not agree. It's healthy to disagree. It's healthy to argue. It's healthy to be angry. It is healthy to be okay. What makes it great is when you come back together.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are apologies. Like, they come back with, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That's big in our house. Yo, you need to be able to go and apologize to your brother, even if it's like, I'm sorry. Because the other one felt it and received it. But it's even so much that I have them where, so they're assigned, the boys are assigned to the girls. Alani has Isela and Elijah has Hermione. If we're in a restaurant, Hermione stands up to go to the bathroom without saying anything to anybody. Elijah immediately gets up and follows, no matter where she's going.
That's good.
If Alani sees Isela get up, now this one I got he be like, here we go. She just won't stop and sit down. She got to go to the bathroom every 2 minutes. He complaining, but he's moving. So I have them where it's like that. But it's taken practice. It's taken, some things of being a mom. I'm like, yo, we go camping. I'm like, how are you going to, what do you do for your sister? She eats first. Alani complaining, of course. I'm starving. I'm just watching her eat. Elijah cooking up, for her, making sure she's straight. So, but they get it done. And then even in the girls, they're submissive to their brothers in a way so much that they're like, yo, they make sure that their brothers eat before anybody else in that house.
That's good.
There has to be order. And there has to be respect. I can't stand when Hermione doesn't listen to Isela. That's your older sister. Because if I don't have no order and respect, your ass is going to be lost. Because she's already experienced it. And you need to understand that.
So speaking of how you have taught them to take care of each other, how did what happened to Elijah affect A, the family, and B, the siblings?
Oh, it was tough. Family.
And before you go into that, let's talk about what happened to Elijah.
So I told him I'm going to let him tell his story. So what happened to him, I want him to give his own testimony, right? For me, I could tell you what happened to me as a mom dealing with my son in that situation. So I'll give you a tidbit, but because it's in my book, because I want people to really understand the severity of what I actually went through. And I'll say this. Elijah was in a state when I got to him. First of all, I got to him. I saw on the maps where he was when I got a phone call that he was in a really serious accident at 5:04 in the morning, April 24th. And I was on my way to the airport because Hamiley, who I coach, has had a basketball game in Arizona. And so I thought my alarm went off, but it was actually my 360 alert. And it kept saying collision, Elijah collision. And so I got up, I looked and saw, but it took me to the car. It showed me the mark of where the car was because his phone was in the car. And I saw that I have some missed calls from his girlfriend. And I called her and she said, Elijah, she couldn't barely breathe. And I said, I need you to calm down. I need you to tell me where he is. So she said, he's at a hospital in a trauma unit in Northridge. That's all I needed. Okay, so I ran in, I grabbed Hamiley. The mark of where he was 22 minutes away. I got to Elijah in 8 minutes. And later I asked Hamiley, I said, how did we get here? And she said, we floated. Because I don't remember getting to the hospital. I don't remember driving there. And I went in, I had no shoes, looking like a straight crackhead. And they kept saying to me, Mike, come with us. Are you Michael's mom? And I was like, no, I'm Elijah's mom. Elijah was telling the doctors that his name was Michael Govan, who's my dad. And they said that he was 17. And I was like, no, he's 18 and his name is Elijah Arenas. Well, they couldn't do anything on him until I got there because they needed consent. So as I'm running down the hall, the doctor, and a black doctor, was like, they giving her the thumbs up that this is the mom. And she starts pumping. And she's pumping. And I'm seeing him go back and forth. And the doctor said, let me just get you, a nurse came to me and said, let me just get you to understand where we are before you enter this room. Your son's levels are at a 37. Death in a IC unit in trauma where we are today is at 40. I just need you to understand before you come in here what you're dealing with. And I said, I can handle it. I got it. I said, okay, thank you. And I haven't yet I think on Mother's Day I mourned what I went through. But I went through a lot. Like, I needed clarity. I needed the room to be clear. I needed to know what the numbers were. I needed to know what the monitors meant. I needed to know what the triggers were. I needed to know who the doctors were. I needed to know who the nurses were. I needed to know who the authority was under. Here's what's crazy, is that a few days, maybe 2 days before, I was doing because I have a TV show coming out, and I'm doing a TV show, and we were doing the the pilot for it. And I remember in the pilot I was saying, JC hasn't showed up in my life maybe in like a year or two. I haven't seen him. I talked to him, but I haven't heard him. I've been fasting and I still ain't got no answers. And I'm conflicted. I'm like, because somebody had asked me where I was in terms of my religion. And I said, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person. I'm a believer. But I'm struggling. I ain't seen him. I ain't heard from him in a while. And my relationship with God is such that I wake up and I'm like, yo, what's cracking? What we got on the agenda? Where we at? Talk to me. I'm here. And I hear a lot in the shower. I hear a lot. He talks to me in different things and through different ways. And I haven't heard it. And I was telling him that the doctor said, talk to him, to Elijah. And I went to his ear and I said, I rebuke any hurt, harm, or danger in the name of Jesus. And I told him, I said, if you die, I'm going to kill you. I was like, if you pass away, I'm going to kill you. I said, we got shit to do. You got shit to do. And not only do I need you, but we need you. The world needs you. And I remember asking God, I haven't heard from you no more. And here's what's crazy. I backed off, and the nurse hit Elijah's air tube, and it popped out, and he couldn't breathe. And he just was gagging for air. And the doctor was like, what the? And as chaos came, it felt like a storm. And I just remember backing off. And I stepped back. I looked at the doctor. I said, am I in the right place? And she said, you are. And I'm not in the right place. I got on the phone. I started making phone calls, and I knew I needed clarity. I knew I needed the noise to go away. But I'm looking at a full-blown storm. I'm watching my son jump out of this bed because he can't breathe. His lung had collapsed. I'm watching these doctors panic. And I was like, this ain't it. So I got on the phone. I made some phone calls. And things changed in a few hours. And I knew, I felt JC. A calm came over me that I can't explain. It's so crazy because I couldn't speak. I stopped speaking for like 10 hours. Nothing could come up and out. Nothing. Not a cough, not a cry, not a nothing after I got off the phone. And I just shut down. And I was like, you can't be in here. You gotta go. I told Gilbert, they can't be in here. I shut it down. And I was like, you gotta go. I had my kids. I had my daughter. I was directing. I told the nurse, I said, you better not reach over him again. I told the doctor, I said, you put him in a coma, induce him now. Induce him now. That happened. I told the other doctor, I don't want to see you because I don't like your energy. You gotta go. Get me another doctor in here. It just got quiet. And things start moving. And so I'll tell you the rest of my book. But the rest got real quiet, and things got put in place. I didn't sleep for 62 hours. 62 hours. And I felt my brain, when I sat down and I stood up, and I was really dizzy. And I was like, I gotta eat. And I gotta, I knew, but in that 62 hours, it just wasn't much being said. It was quiet. I could tell you everything on a monitor. I could tell you the things that his whole life changed. His whole life changed.
And when you say JC, for the purpose of the audience, you mean Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing that I thought was so Laura. You put a very colorful prayer request on IG.
Oh, yeah, no. So this how that happened. Hamali said she's in the room. And after I was talking to Elijah in his ear, he kept, as I was talking to him, he was going, yeah.
Okay.
As I was talking to him, he could hear me. And he was going like, "Ma, ma." And that's when I said, put him in a coma. I said, induce him. It should be protocol, which it is, I think, but because he was 17. So anyway, so
Wait a minute. Why did you induce a coma? What was your rationale?
He was coming in and out of a coma anyway.
Got it.
Why have him suffer? A coma, an induced coma, is for the body to rest. I need him to rest. Why should he feel this trauma? Take him down now. Because when he was getting up, it took like 10 people to take him down. Why would I don't want my son to struggle like that. And I know what a coma is for, an induced one at that. I was in a coma. So I know the protocols to certain things. And so
after your prayer request, your colorful one.
Well, with that one, I looked at Hamali because she said, Mom, there's so many people calling your phone. Do you want me to say anything? And I said, yeah, you tell everybody to pray. Everybody can pray. And that's it. I didn't think she was going to go and put it on Instagram. So she was like, everybody go pray. So we need all your prayers or whatever she said. But to be honest, I didn't touch my phone for 4 days. And I had over 1,800 missed messages, calls. I know you did. I had people calling from Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, Russia. I bet. I had people calling from Africa, South Africa. Shanghai, when we lived in China, I had people calling. I was like, is this even real? When I looked at it. I had to bum rush my way in there to pray. And you made it, But I was going. But I wasn't, I didn't let nobody in there, and I didn't. There's something about a mom and a feeling that just comes over and takes over. That's right. And it didn't matter. And that's my language with God, though. And if you know me, you're not offended by that. Right. And if you don't know me, I don't if you were. Right. So there you go. So lastly on this, praying for Elijah, I felt when I came in the room and I saw all of the family there, I came in with Gloria and with Derek. And I saw, everybody just, it was a full room of people. And initially I was like, should I ask them to hold hands? I don't want to come in here like I'm a pastor or a preacher. But when I saw you and I saw the resolve of this bear, of a mother, I was like, pray and go. And I could, because I'm a mom, I could absolutely imagine the pain and the God, what you gonna do? But I also felt like we got this. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that you say that, because a lot of people actually came in the beginning. And I wasn't letting people up. I was trying to monitor from afar, because I didn't really care. I just didn't want nobody to touch him. I didn't want nobody to be around him. There are even nurses that if I didn't feel good, you got to go. Give me somebody else. But I remember you coming in, and I needed that prayer. I needed that prayer you gave. And there was a lot of people, not even a lot of people, because I wasn't allowing certain things, but I didn't want certain people's prayer. I don't believe in everybody's prayer is for me, because I think that some people don't pray for me. I feel like they're praying for them to me. I don't need that. One, you've never given that. But two, I don't want to say you so holy, but you're very consistent in your word with God. You've been that way since I've known you. And I feel like God gives you grace to deal with me because of the way I am. But you allow me to be me with no judgment. And I know you love me. So I knew that prayer was for me. And we needed it. We needed it. He needed it. And I was good. And after that prayer, people did come and pray. But that was the prayer that I needed for him. Amen. So, all right. Well, and now he is, boom, back. Yeah, he's moving. He got some work to do. His lungs took a really bad beating. He took a beating. But look at him.
God is
I
so
know.
faithful, you know?
And I told him, I said, it just wasn't your time.
Mm-mm.
It just wasn't your time.
Mm-mm.
And but he's such a great human being. He's such a great kid. I know people say a lot about their children, but when he woke up, the first thing, and the last thing I'm gonna say, but he couldn't speak. So I made him write things, and he was writing. And the first thing he said was, "Did I hurt anybody? Was anybody hurt?" That's the first thing came out of his mouth. And I was like, so Elijah, it's so who he is to ask or say that. That's just who he is. He's just a great, and you know what else is great? He's a believer. He's been a believer since he was a baby. And I've always said that. So I've always put all of them go to 4 different schools based off their personality. But I put him in Christian because I thought, okay, he was seeking. And they deliver. They were the best deliverers that I could find. But for a school and consistency. And so, yeah, so it was very fitting, but there you go.
So when will he play again?
He will be going to University of USC, as you know. He'll be at the first games. He'll be at the first game. He'll be able to play. He's scheduled to have a full recovery, but he has work to do. It's not going to be, he's not just, he's healthy, he's young, he's resilient, but he has to work.
But he will have a testimony.
Oh, yeah.
There's this song that says, "You're going to live to see it happen." And so the fact that God allowed him to go through this and come out on the other side, what a testimony. And the fact that the audience now knows, if they don't know, that he is a believer and he loves God.
Oh, yeah.
So his testimony is going to change lives.
Big time.
That's awesome.
No, big time.
Amen.
Yeah.
So as we wrap this up, power, reinvention, and womanhood. Where is Laura now? Where is Laura going? And what legacy does Laura want to leave?
Here's one thing I will say. Being in that hospital, I honestly I live day to day. I really do live like hour to hour. That hospital, before people say, oh, where are you going to see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully not dead. Today, it's every day. And that's a real thing. It's like having a really good diet. You want to stay consistent in the fruit that you eat, then you got to stay consistent in the word. I told you about how I was questioning where JC was. I'd get up and be like, nigga, where you at? And I would just get quiet, no show. Okay, cool. But what I realized is that he never left me.
That's right.
Not one day. Like leading up to the day, he let me put me in positions where I can handle where I was given. And so today, my faith, I can't even say is stronger. My faith is, I have to tell you the word, but it's beyond stronger. It's a feeling that I can't explain, actually. I'm writing a book. I finished it, actually. It'll be coming out soon. I'm doing a podcast. I was asked to do a podcast. I coach my daughter. I'm, coaching and playing are my first loves. And they've given me my life. So, oops, sorry. That's one of my kids. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna call you back. Love you. Bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. I'm working. Okay, bye. I'm actually with your auntie, but okay. Anyway,
we got that.
So, yeah. So but it's day by day. Whatever he has for me. I just want to, whatever the path is, but I do ask for that in the morning. I get up, I didn't do that before, and I now ask for, just show me the way. Whatever it is today, show me the way. and I'll be faithful to that. So sometimes, even in the coffees, I'm like, okay, should I go to Starbucks or am I leading to Pete's? And I believe that he gonna guide me. Even in that.
Even in that.
Even in that.
Even in that.
It's as little as the route that Google tells me to take. And I'm like, nah, shit, I done veered off. It's in his hands. It's in his hands.
Now that reminds me of the scripture in Proverbs that says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding, and in all thy ways, if you acknowledge him, he will direct your path.
And I'm telling you, I get to shit on point.
Oh my God.
I be early. I was here early.
After a
I
scripture.
was here early. God know my heart. You know my heart. You know my heart.
Okay, so
listen.
Here's my last question.
Listen. I was here early, was I not?
You were.
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
You're welcome.
So proud of you.
You're welcome, God. Thank you, JC. JC came through for you, baby. Coming through.
Okay, what's something you're learning for the first time in your 40s that you wish you knew at 25?
Wait for the sex, because it's better now than it was then, honey. Just don't give it up. Don't be that girl. I never was. But today, baby, let me tell you, juice is flowing.
Wait for it.
40.
Okay, very
Wait
good.
for it.
Wait for it. Okay,
What
that's
else?
good because
I'm serious.
We're teaching abstinence. That's very good.
I didn't say all that.
Well, but that's very good.
No, but wait. Okay, let's talk about that. You got a point. Because look, I have learned to be more patient because I used to make myself come when I used to watch porn all the time.
Okay.
No, listen. That's still, come on.
Okay, what?
You heard what I said. That's real.
Okay, got it.
Because I used to be addicted to porn.
Okay.
I'd knock one out, go to sleep, knock one out, have a day. I don't use no tools, no nothing. Get it done, I'm out, right? Get my day going.
Okay.
So, you get my point.
Okay, I get it. And so how did you get free from porn?
You know what? I start not just being busy, but it just recently happened, by the way. That trip with Elijah and the things I went on, there's some things that needed to change in my life.
Wow.
And that's being one of them. Although I'm recovered for, what's today? I'm like a month or two in.
Okay.
Now, you coming from somebody who used to make herself come twice a day. Because I needed it. I needed a release.
Got it.
And and now I can't wait to be with my husband. I can't wait.
That's good.
I can't wait for him to feel all these juices and all this gushiness and all this amazingness.
All right. So
but you get my point.
Yes, absolutely. I get your point.
But overcoming porn was tough for me.
Okay.
Because I liked it. I just have a fantasy, a thought. What? It was there.
That's amen then. The fact that you have overcome that and you are still working through that process.
But then I also realized that I have an addiction to things, but I know I can overcome them. Like I don't need that. It's all in my head.
Right.
I don't need that.
Right.
I could get up and just be active. There's so many ways to knock out my energy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I do, like, becoming 40, my body was just like fiending for like girth and goodness down there, and I just couldn't find it. And I didn't want to settle for just a inside me.
Oh, great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was turning to porn, but I don't need that either.
Right.
So I don't need the pee-pee, the wee-wee, or the TV. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Now, I'm just going to wait on it.
Look at God.
Won't he do it?
Won't he
Come on,
do
JC.
it?
Come on.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
I love that.
It's the truth.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So if you had no fear, no critics, what would you do?
What do you mean by that?
No, if you had nothing stopping you, no one saying she can't do it.
I want another baby.
What would you do? You want another baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have given the right person.
Okay.
because I had a great experience with Gilbert just because I have my 4 babies, but I want to do it with somebody. I want to really, and not to say that we didn't, because I don't want to take away the love that we had making the babies with each. I don't want to take that away. I want my children to know that they were made with love, although we, it was they, like I don't want to take that away, but I want to do it differently.
Yeah.
I feel like, and if I can't get that, what else I would do? I just want to coach.
You want to coach.
I want to coach basketball.
That's good.
But I can't
You
now because I don't want to miss out being a fan of my children, because I am their number one fan. You could hear me on ESPN in the background. You hear my yells on TV, on national. It don't matter. You hear they mama. And it's so crazy because I have been to 4 different cities in one state in one day to get to them.
Your mom.
I am. And, it's so crazy because most people that know me know I'm a mama.
You are.
Yeah.
And I love that, and I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Thank you. Well, we did it.
That was it.
That's it.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah.
Oh, my God. I love that. I even love that.
Well, shit.
Now, don't forget to like and subscribe to Merge TV on YouTube for more deep healing conversations.